what we are treating today as the first session, which is a proper official introduction to Some Planet's company as a real estate firm and what it entails in its entirety. So I'll be sharing my screen now. Okay, my name is Sunday Kojo, the founder and the MD CEO of Some Planet Company Limited. I want to take my time and take this slowly as much as I can because my aim eventually at the end of this call or session is to bring everyone to a clear understanding of what this session is all about. So permit me to go as calm as possible. That being said, it is interesting to know that we are all here, myself and the other team member in Some Planet, just because of you, the associates. That is a sign to tell you that we are taking this program very seriously and really want to get the best out of it for yourself and for ourselves. Thank you, and let's move on. So, first slide is topic of the slide is associate partnership program. Anyways, is mainly looking into the company profile. We want to bring you to speed understanding of what Some Planet is and what has been done so far. I know in some of our previous call there have been some conversations around that, but take this as an official introduction to you being a team that's been carefully selected to join in this moving train that has been helping a whole lot of people to put their money in the right place in the real estate investments. So this is Some Planet. Let me go straight to why we are here today. I think I'll say more on real estate when we are dealing or when we are having the next introduction to real estate business. But today we want to center our focus on Some Planet. Right. So about Some Planet. Some Planet is a dynamic real estate company here in Lagos, Nigeria. Our headquarters is here, but I'm streaming from there. Maybe I should share my screen for those that have not seen my face before. Yes. Can someone confirm that you can see me? So it is safe to add that I'm streaming directly from the Some Planet office, the headquarters. As you can see, this is my office. Let me just show you a little bit around so that we can feel as much relaxed as possible. This is the little place or space carved out for me to be able to do the little I can. Okay, moving on. Let me go back to my slide. Yes. Okay, so we are a real estate firm headquartered here in Lagos, specialized really in developing properties, managing that same property, and make them investable assets. There can be property, there can be buildings that are not investable assets. We'll see much of that when we are talking about real estate business. But our focus in Some Planet is to make anything you can see as building or land an investable assets, not an inheritance. We are founded in 2018, and it will interest you to know that we are established on one basic powerful strategy, which is transforming land and existing properties into livable, high value investment assets, like I said before. Over the years, we have successfully completed multiple projects across real estate space, working closely with trusted partners and applying practical expertise gained through extensive industry workshops and hands-on collaborations. Our growing track record reflects consistent delivery, quality, execution, and a result-driven approach that runs potential, that turns potential into lasting value. Really, that is the core of our business. We see potential in real estate space, and the end of it is for us to turn into a value that can be tagged as an investment. And when you say something is an investment, it means it's bringing returns. So I want us to know that investment means this, whatever it is that I'm investing my time, my money, my energy on, is bringing a return that is valuable. Return that is valuable. So that's the what we set out to do. And also interest to know, I don't know why that's not added, that we are already started with CAC. We've been in operation for more than 8 years. And I mean, you can see now, I'm streaming from our head office here in Lagos. I'm going to play a short clip of how our office looks like for you to have a proper perspective. So, because of time, I think the major thing I want us to see is that part of the office and the team that are there, so as to establish the fact that we have a physical presence. We are not an online real estate firm only. We have a physical presence here on the mainland in Yaba. At the point in time, Some Planet started as an agency company that help people to get apartments. I need to share this story so that you will know the philosophy behind the associates is actually in this regard that I'm saying. We, like I was saying, started as an agent and metamorphosed to a real estate development firm at a certain point in time. But the inspiration behind that was the experiences that we see with our clients when we are renting apartments that's been built by developers or house owners at that point in time, and we discover how much disservice the clients were getting, and how much undervalue for their money they are getting. So that gave that impression and that ambition that if someday comes that we're able to have the opportunity to build ourselves from the ground up, we are going to put into consideration all the challenges that are our clients are facing at the point where we are still renting apartment to people. And in 2019, like I said in my last webinar, we had the privilege to start our first project, and that was kicked off on a very good note, because being the first project, we're able to achieve building two massive three-story buildings simultaneously. So that project ran between 2019 to 2020. At the end of 2020, it was completed. In 2021, it was launched, right? And at the launching, the people that have rented, because eventually we built it for proper yearly renters, rented, they could see a huge gap difference between what we have built and what is obtainable in the area. And upon that is what Some Planet actually started this journey from. So we try to do something that looks like what is lacking elsewhere, especially in the locality where we find ourselves here. So Some Planet did just start because we are looking for a business to make money. It started actually to solve problem, and that is why we are scaling. So this is the man behind the vision. By God's grace, I'm the one speaking too. To be frank, this started back there in school. When I was in school, in my final year, though not official, that was in 2015 thereabouts, that I had the privilege to think towards this direction, and I started something back there in school, but nothing much coming from it until after I left, and I did a partnership with a colleague then, started something in real estate. From there, enough experiences were gathered. You can see practical way at which real estate works. Then in 2018, God granted us that privilege to start something, to incorporate some planets itself, 2018. And since then, it has been a blessing to myself and to everyone that have come in contact with it. So it is safe to say that Some Planet is a business created for blessing. And part of those is what you are here today to benefit, right? So my name is Sunday Kojo, hailed from Badagry. I didn't put all that here. Uh, and a husband of one wife. I have one beautiful daughter, and I live in Lagos for now. So I I did a lot of I did a lot, to be frank with you, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with you on a personal level when we are going to start the journey itself. I did a lot on personal development. If you see here, what I studied in school is social work, and I have a certification, a professional course I took then in HR. Maybe that helps in a way the way I relate with people. But mostly, I think what helped me or what sharpened my expertise in the real estate space is how much I was available to know what is going on in this space. Try to ensure that I get close to people that are doing the business before me, and people that also starting up. So, and also attending a lot of workshops, and being in resourceful places that real estate messages are being passed. So that helped and shaped my mindset, and also a lot of personal discovery, personal learning here and there to understand the place of real estate, and also to understand bringing that business into a company structure. So, with coupled with the fact that I didn't actually have much background in working in an official firm, like an employee, I didn't have so much of that privilege. I only worked under someone for a few years, few time before I even gained admission. But I did a lot that we are doing today on a personal development. So I'm saying this to say that regardless of what you studied, that is not the determining factor that you cannot, do real estate. So regardless of it, you can be part of the booming market in real estate. Because I am a testimony, it's obvious from what I've shared. And under my leadership, the company has delivered several projects, breathtaking ones, established reputation for thoughtful development and reliable investments. I purposely use that thoughtful to I can relate that to what I said before concerning the fact that we observed what our clients used to go through in the hand of developers and landlords and likes that time. So that went into when we started our developments, and that really helped us to gain the market in the area that we operate. So that's all I think for now you should know about me. Much more will come later. Thank you. So we have awesome, beautiful team. I call these people helpmates, like the Bible will call your wife helpmates, because someone that is there for you and help you carry your vision for you, they are not far from being called help. And their help meet for me to establish Some Planet. So I cherish and really appreciate them, their group of expertise, from our HR to our CEO, to our HR and CEO. You can see the name there, Mr. Debisi, to Mr. Celestine, Mr. Timothy, Mrs. Sarah now, she got married recently, Mr. Gaius, Ms. Olachi, Oye, Ms. Bisola, and so many others that we could do not list here because of the limited space. To our vision, This is where it gets interesting, really. Our vision is very simple. The vision is very simple and clear. We are here to build wealth. We are building wealth through real estate, the smartest way you can ever think of, or the smart ways as it's being put here. So, what I call the smart way, what I call the smart ways are strategies, plans that are very salient, that are not loud out there, but can pull in a lot of real estate resources in terms of return. And upon that, we've established our company and we've built something that can be regarded as income. And that's what I am bringing to our table. I want to share that vision with you to see how you can do real estate in a smart way so that you can get something substantial as huge income and in this space. On the mission, like I've said before, we are transforming things, transforming homes, transforming lands, houses into a secure and livable, profitable asset through professionalism. I really key to that word, professional development, effective management, and strategic investment solutions. Upon these three categories is some planet predicated upon which we are standing. Let me use that word. Every single thing we are doing is focusing on these three: development of properties, managing those properties, and at the same time creating investment out of it. Like you and I know, when a property is called, when they say that the property is an investment property, it means that that property is not just an asset, but it's an asset that's bringing money to your pocket, or it's an asset that you are aware of the financial potential. Let me give an instance of what that means. I know a lot of us are living in a rented apartment or have our own house that we are living in, or we have family that owns house here and there. You can have a house which still can be categorized as real estate property or real estate assets, but it's not an investment. What makes it even though you are renting it and you are making money from it, it still can be regarded as an investment in the context through which I'm speaking from. So it's become an investment when you can determine the value, the accurate value that it commands. For instance, in 2018, we approached a man. He was renting his apartment. He had a whole lot of a building, a one-story building that contains 4 flats, and he was renting each of the flats for 500,000 thereabouts. And he had about 4 families in that apartment. We got to know that one of the apartments was vacant. That was 2018 when we even started, when we incorporated Some Planet. We approached him and told him that we are interested in taking the whole of the 4 flats from him. And we pitched an interesting, contract with him. We told him that if we take the O4, it will ease his burden of management. Instead of him dealing with 4 tenants, he's dealing with one single tenant. And another advantage he's going to have is the fact that the money, all the 4 apartments comes from one source at a particular time in a year, which helps him to plan. And at the same time, we did not only pay the value of that apartment at that time, but we paid him much more than that, about $1 million thereabouts. So we're paying for something that is meant to generate 2 million from, we paid about 4 million. But that is not the sweet part of it. So what we now did with that 4 apartments that this man has, but is not getting the highest value you can get from that, is this, because we have this knowledge. So we moved into that 4 apartments, renovated it, converted it. So each of the apartments is 3-bedroom flats, which means 3 rooms and a parlor plus a kitchen. So what we did is this: the 3-bedroom flat, including parlor. We demarcated the parlor and make it a room, making 4 rooms. And each of those 4 rooms, we put 2 hostel bunk there. And 1 bunk gives you 2 space. That means 2 persons per 1 bunk. In total, it means that in one room, we have 4 students that are staying in that room, and each of them was charged 250,000 that year. So that means in one room, in one of the flats, we are generating 1 million. So in the 4 room, in the one flat that has 4 rooms in this case now, because plus the living room that has been converted to a room, we're generating 4 million just in one flat out of the whole 4. So we multiply the 4 million into 4, that is 12 million. Is that 12 million? That's 16 million. So something that should be generating 16 million, it was only getting 4 million from it when we came in. But even before we came in, it was only getting 2 million from it. That is what is called investment property. From what I'm saying, you can decode the kind of mindset that we are approaching real estate with. So let's move to the next slide. So with this that I've said, strategy, plans, how we see houses, how we see real estate, how we see land, right? All of them are placed under these 4 core values. I said million times to people, you can't survive a business anywhere in the world without integrity, that I can use another word, honesty, for. So if one is not honest in your business, in your dealing with another person, the chances of the continuity of your business is zero. I won't say it is low. It is zero, because it just takes a matter of time for the lies, for the irregularities to show up, and people will desert you. The investment will crumble, the business will go down the drain. So we know that from the beginning, inspired by God, that for you to survive business, it must be built on integrity, and that's what we stand on today. Since the establishment to today, I don't think we have at any point in time make a pronunciation, a proclamation, a promise, or we say this is the way we want to go, and eventually it looks like we are not going that way, and there's no proper explanation, and there's no evidences to show the reason we are pivoting from one part to another part and carry everyone along, especially the investors not getting the returns of their investments or whatever it is that they have been promised. So our integrity is very, 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 very high. That is why it looks like it was taking a bit of time to bring you guys in, because we're actually looking at how best to structure that the image of the company is not tarnished out there, because we've built something. Please, you should know that built something over the years upon which we are enjoying. At the moment when you come to where we are established, and mention the name Some Planet, I'm certain that a lot of people will tell you, at least out of 10, I'm confident that 7 should tell you something good about us. And 7 is excellent. That's 70% out of 100. Of course, you can't have everything good in everyone. There are some that will have beef here and there, but I can give you 70 for those that I've related with, right? That's to tell you how much that we have been able to build, and to tell you the kind of company you are coming to work with. Then innovation, we don't joke with that. I personally is my major core. I don't like to do one thing all the time without changing, without looking for to review it and see what best way to go in achieving it. That is why if you see the collection of our properties that were built over the years, the building that we started with, the shape and the finishing it's definitely different from the one that came after, and the one that came after got improved, the one that came after got improved. The one we are doing currently, they are bombshell, they are explosive, they are out of this world. Nobody goes to our sites and not saying what you are doing here is crazy in a positive way, anyways. So that is who we are, that is what we are doing, and we are people of excellence. We try to preach that spirit of excellence in what we do. We want to do it as best as we could and as professional as it can be. And at the same time, lastly, we also, enjoy and take joy in partnership. What you do that works for you, you don't keep it to yourself alone. Let others also benefit from it. And Yoruba will say that Agba Jowo la fi ń sọ̀yà. Ọwọ́ kan ò gbẹ́rù dórí. For those that understand that proverb, I will not translate it because of time. Anyways, let me go forward. So partnership is the core, and that's why you are here. So our key services are, like I've said, property development, property management, and investment portfolio management. And under these individual services, we have in property development, we have finance, we have project management, and procurement. So then in property management, we have hospitality, we have facility management, we have, and then in investment portfolio management, we have portfolio management, product development, and prop tech. Prop tech is the application of technology into our operations. Now, currently, we are building an app that can do virtually everything that we are doing physically. Like everything we are doing physically can be done on the app. The onboarding of tenants or the guests, the investors can have a live display of the investment just at the comfort of their home by downloading the app and things like that. So many of these are what we are putting together to ensure that we remain in the market and we are giving that best service as much as we could. So in a nutshell, this is its trajectory. We build house by developing it, we manage the house, and people invest in them, then we manage people's investments. The investors that are buying in units, that are buying in fraction, we have a system through which we manage it for them so that we will not only say come and buy, we will also help them to make returns from what they are buying from us. We've built some set of units of apartments, then we have a centralized facility management of it, and then we also said that for individual person or people that are buying each 1 or 2 units, we also have a system through which it can be managed to get the best return on investment you can ever think of. Let me give an instance. Imagine the man we approached in 2018 that we took the O4 flat from him. Imagine we gave him this concept of, don't worry, let us manage this portfolio for you. We're not going to rent from you. We'll take over the unit, the building, and generate the best you can get for you. That means all those 16 million that we did that came to us as company that time when we were starting out, we would just minus the services here and there, and the profits would be the owner's gain. So that is what we are doing now. So we are making that strategy that we are using for ourselves to make money is what we are using for people now. The property you are buying from us will help you to put it to the best use that commands the highest returns that it can give, so that you can, that's why we call it investment portfolio management. Manage that portfolio for you so that you can get the best returns, from it. You won't be like a normal landlord that will just have a house and don't know what to do with it. So that is what our services are. Then these are investment offers. So when we say investment offers, it means how can you invest with some planet? how can one invest with some planets? So these are the offers that we have. It is when you have invested that you see all those services that we provide, right? So there's what we tagged as smart investment, smart owner investments. This allow you to own a part of a building or a compartment. That means own a part of a building or own a part of a compartment. What does that mean? In a building, there are several units. So you can own one unit from that building. That means you own a part of the building. And in a building also, there are units like apartment, like I just said. Is that you own the apartment wholly or you own part of that unit. Let me put it in simple analogy. We have a building that harbors or contains 8 apartments. You as an investor, you buy one of those 8. We are left with 7. That means you own that full unit for yourself. That means you own part of the building. Or you own from that 8 unit, you own a fraction from it. So that means you own part of compartment. You own a fraction of a unit of apartment. For instance, a unit of apartment out of that 88 units, like the example I'm giving, one of them you own 50%. Say one of them is 60 million, for instance. But you came in with 50% of that 60 million. So what that will mean is that eventually, when we begin to generate highest return on that property, whatever that is the profit, you're going to be getting 50% of it. I don't know whether this makes sense. So these are the investment offers that you can get with some planets, and you can get as much as possible, lowest percentage in fractional that you can get. So also, how do you acquire? How do you invest? There are also different ways through which you can be a smart owner investor, either by owning it completely or owning it in fraction. Then there is 3 ways, let me use that way, 3 ways through which you can own, let me use that word, you can own an apartment. First one is called leasehold. That may be sounding 100% not a popular concept for the context I want to use now. Leasehold is a concept that we came up with in 2018. Like I said, because that was our first development, that we broke down the investment capital into a unit that one can afford. What does that mean? There are 2 ways you can buy a property. You can buy a property and own it outrightly, or you buy a property and own it for a while. So the one you will own for a while, it is what we call leasehold. So what is the advantage that you have there? If the apartment that you own forever or permanently is being sold for 60 million, the one you will own for a while can be sold for 15 million. You can see the gap. One is 60 million, but you own it forever. But one is 15. That same apartment. But I can see the bottle of water I'm holding. This bottle of water, let's assume, is an apartment. It's going for 60 million to own it outrightly. And at the same time, this same bottle of water can also go for 15 million if you don't want to own it outrightly. So we discovered that there are a lot of young people that want to invest in real estate but do not have that much capital, and they are interested in investing. So what we did is to enter into some JV arrangements with landowners of properties in that area. That was what we did in our first project. And we enter into an understanding with them by partnering with them, building the house without buying the land, so that the cost of sales will be cheaper, or the cost of leasehold will be cheaper to the end users. So when we are done building the house, instead of us to sell it for 60 million, that means we are considering the cost of land alongside with the sales value. We sell for 15 million or 20 million as the case may be, because we are not buying the land. And we also, what if you are not buying the land also, we do not also going to have the land, have the house we built on it forever. So I remember our first project that time we took it for 25 years. So we built it and going to use it for 25 years, right? So that is why when we are now selling it to individual or group of people, we will not sell it for permanent ownership. We'll sell it for the number of years within that time frame. And we did that to be able to beat down the cost price of a real estate um, property. And let me tell you the interesting part of that. The interesting part of that is, if you had bought that apartment for 60 million and if you are buying it for 15 million, you're going to generate the same income. What do I say by that? If for instance, you want to generate, let's assume you are generating 1 million in the apartment you are buying for 60 million. If you buy that same apartment for 15 million, we're going to generate the same 1 million. And the benefit of that is your break even period. It will take you a shorter time to break even on a leasehold, or if you are taking it permanently, it will take you longer time to break even. But regardless, to be frank, having it permanently is always better, because it means that you earn from it forever, for life. But the advantage of having it on a short period of time is the fact that you are getting something substantial, that the money you are bringing in would be recovered within 2 3 years, and you have several other years for profit only, and you are entering that market at a very low cost and low rate. We'll say much more of this when we are doing the proper training in the model. There's one of the training that is called the model that we are adopting, right? So I'm just trying to explain what that leasehold is all about. Then condominium is a condo is what I've explained before, owning a unit in a building forever, outrightly. That's what that is. Then fractional ownership is what I also explained before, owning that condo, part of it, owning a condo, half of a condo, or part of a fraction of a condo. That's what the fractional ownership is talking about. So the next offers that we have is called Platinum Investment Portfolio. Like it's been stated here, this is a financial partnership investment with return structured in form of equity or interest. So this one are for big guys, those that can foot 50% of our project costs, foot 70% of our project cost, as the case may be. Let me take for instance, we are working on 40 Scots at the moment. 40 Scots is projected to be around 1 billion, the project costs. And there is an asset management company that approached us and willing to foot uh, about 40% of it, of that, about 400 million thereabouts of the project. So those one we call them platinum investment portfolio, or platinum investment, or platinum investor, right? So what they benefit eventually, the share equity in the sense that when 40 Scott is fully completed and sold out, the we take the cost of building, then what remains becomes the share according to the partnership percentage. Or also there are some also that comes in the manner of a certain interest of the percentage amount of money they are dropping. So those are the strategy we use. So I remember when we first started, we adopted this strategy. I had a friend then, and we had one project that we wanted to embark on. In fact, that same project I told you that we rented a whole 4 apartments in one building. So a friend of mine then, he wanted to get married, and it's going to still take about 6 months, for him to do that. And he was saving money up, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years. And he was saving money up, 1 year, 2 years in the bank. I think he had something substantial at that time. That's that if you add to what we had then, it will help in pushing for the project we are trying to do with that hostel I said that we converted. And we approached him and told him that in the next 3 months, bring all the money you have in your bank. I know you want to do your wedding, but don't bring the money. You get that money and the percentage of 20% the next 3 months. He knows that he trusts me. It looks impossible, but he trusts me. He knows that this guy cannot tell what he cannot do, and this one cannot take my money and run away. Right? That's why I say integrity is very, very key. So we adopted that strategy, and that money came in at that point in time. We used it to secure that project, and in the next 3 months, the project has yielded, has brought back the money and the interest. We're able to meet up. I will only say that it's God's grace, anyways. We're able to meet up with the money and also meet up with the percentage interest promised. He said, "Oh, you can do this. I want to give you back the money again since I still have 3 months for my wedding." I said, "Don't risk it, too, you know." But at that point, we also had the confidence that okay, we want to take another project. We took another project, and he brought in the money again. And before the end of that three months, that is the day or the month of his wedding, by God's grace, the money came out again with huge interest. So it was that interest and the money that he would never have to also for more money. It was that money he used to do his wedding. In fact, I was one of the best. I think I was the best man on the wedding, anyways. So it's an interesting story and an interesting strategy out there. So it's a win-win. It worked for us. It worked for him also. Those are the people we call platinum investment. But now it's not a lot of money to be part of that category of investment. Going forward to our property profile, we have 11 properties built at the moment. We have 8 of them is fully completed and tenantable. We have 3 that are off plan, that is Carriers Lofts and Fortis Courts. We have over 1,000 investors and users. I will say more about that later. Then these are some of our apartments and their names, some of our buildings, projects and their names. We have Grace Heights that accommodates or comprises of 24 apartments. It's a refined 3-story building. The purpose, what we are doing there is commercial shortlets, and this project started 2022 and ended in 2023. We have another project called Planet Wings. It also comprised of 57 apartments. We actually did this project simultaneously. We did this, I can see the dates, the date has shown it. We started this also in 2022 and ended it in 2023. It's a 3-story building and it's a residential apartment mainly. And we did another project called Peacemark. Peacemark is 30 units and it's fully or mixed. Okay, it's mixed use. That means we are using shortlets at the same time, normal regular yearly renters. We started this on 2023 and ended in 2024. In Planet Heights, these are first projects. It has 67 units of apartments, and it's a 2-block of 3-bedroom, 3-story building, like I said earlier. And the purpose is misused. Misused means shortlets and yearly renters are there. And from 2019 to 2021, 2021 is actually when we started the operation. 2020 ending was when it was completed. So this was our first project. This is the one that has plenty of stories. Then we have Oasis Nest. Oasis Nest is a newly completed project this year in 2025. It was completed it started 2025, completed this year. So we launched Oasis Nest, I think around April this year, thereabouts, right? Then this thing was, I think they were scaled according to the number of the units. That's why the dates are not consistent. Then this one also is called Kadara Palace. Is it House 17? Let's Kadara Palace. Okay. Yeah, this is House 17. House 17 was also done in 2020. No, this is wrong. House 17 is 2025. and something was done in 2024 to 2025. While Kadara Palace was part of those we did simultaneously in 2022 to 2023. So this is all of the projects we've executed so far, completed, and is pulling a lot of returns to the investors. All these things you are seeing here are invested in by investors, invested in this, and as many as have invested in it, they are getting substantial return on investment on a daily, no, not daily, on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis. That's our disbursement structure: monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis. That's how we disburse to our investors, right? Like I said, when they buy, we do portfolio management, meaning we manage those units to generate the best. And you would definitely want to give us to manage it so that you can get the best out of it. Okay, so these are off-plan projects. When we say off-plan, it means that the project is currently under construction, not yet fully completed. And that's where we have Cardios Lofts projects and Fortis Courts projects. These are the projects that say it is massive. I think I'm going to share the video of the stage of work at the moment. Maybe if time permits that before this ends. It's a especially Cardios Loft is built for Cardios Loft is built for a strong commercial shortlet standard. What that means is just have the view of a 5 to 4 star hotel. How 5 to 4 star hotel can look like. That's what that property is looking like, but it's not an hotel. It is a shortlet apartment. Shortlet apartment, an apartment that offers short stays, a weekly stay, a monthly stay, and they provide a more homey atmosphere than an hotel. And also in the shortlet is when you can feel like you are at home. In the shortlet apartment are where you have features in the apartment that looks like you are at home. Your kitchen is there, all the kitchen equipment, utensils is there, so you can like you are in your home. That's how the shortlet works. So, but this one that we are doing is a high standard one. The finishing are top notch because our target mainly are the people in diasporas that are coming to this area to do one thing or the other. Then also because where we are located, that's on the mainland Yaba, it's actually a location for a lot of visitors because of the higher institutions that surrounded this place. Also, it's also an advantage for us because of its close proximity to the island. I can say Yaba is always the inception of Tomila Bridge, and with Tomila Bridge, you can connect anywhere on the island. So it helps, and a lot of people that are getting employment in the likes of VIA, in the likes of Ikoyi, that may not necessarily afford the housing price in that area because it's crazy over there. A lot of them come down to the likes of mainland Yaba to secure the apartment. So that's why those are the target audience that we are building this for. And the reason why we are building this and confidence that it's going to sell is because of the experience, the data that we have at the moment. We quite a number of unit projects that are under shortlet marketing, and you barely need to see vacancy there. That's why we are building a whole of that building. That building is going to be a 4-story building. A 4-story building. In fact, that's the first time we are doing 4-story building. Highest we've done is 3-story building. We are doing 4-story building, and we are doing a maiden apartment that we've never done before. The apartment is called Loft. Loft apartment is like a duplex. It's like a 1-bedroom duplex, right? It's coming to that project. Studio apartment is there. Studio apartment is 1 room, self-contained, well furnished, right? Then the 1-bedroom apartment. That's what the Fortis Court, what Carriers Loft promises, and it comes with swimming pool, a large swimming pool. I think I showed it in that video that I played at the time. A large swimming pool, a nice gym center, a spa, a reception for for security and other things for protocol reasons. Then solar inverter system is fully solar inverter, 24 hours lights in that property, right? With 24 hours surveillance, security surveillance system, and so many other things. So what you're saying 25% minimum here is that's the minimum investment that one can make on a unit. Like I said, fractional is the one of the strategies we tend towards now. I'll say much more on that in the adoption session. Then Fortis Courts. Fortis Courts is also a maiden project. We've never done anything like this before in Fortis Courts. What are we doing specially there is that property is actually designed for family suitability, family living. It's perfect for family. We are doing first time ever that we are doing a 3-bed apartment. All our apartments has always focused on spinsters and bachelors, but this one in particular is focused on family units. You know, that's why they are all 3-bedroom flat, and we have 14 3-bedroom flats in that property. In fact, there are 2 buildings standing simultaneously. 2 buildings, one at the left, one at the right, you know, that we are doing there. And it's massively spacious with enough car park, about 20 something car park cap slots that is being created there. So these Cardios Loft and Fortis Court are going to be the major projects that you guys are going to be working on eventually when we get to that stage. Is majorly what you are going to be working on. And it is interesting to see that you are coming in at this time that we have such a magnificent and a beautiful project as this. So I count that as a good luck for us all. So they are also located here on the mainland, Yaba. And I think that's all about off-plan project. Like I said, off-plan means those are times that you'll be acquainted with for those of us that are not in real estate space yet. In our strategy model and business and real estate business introduction. I think that's last. This is my second to the last slide, and it is to motivate you a little to say that every major fortune in modern history has one thing in common: real estate. Ask anyone that has done so much in investment today, they always have real estate investment portfolio. Of course, there are also other investment plans out there, talking about treasury bill, talking about shares for those of us that know about Bitcoin, talking about money markets, and so many other things out there like fixed deposits and all. But based on what I have seen, there's no much of those investments that beat against inflation like real estate do. And there's not much of them that give a higher return like real estate do. So it's what I have seen to a large extent and what I can bear witness to. So take it from a perspective. I know you may have other perspective. But what about these other investments? But this is what I can tell because I do all of them too. But I've seen that real estate is excellent amongst them. So, so this is what I want to leave with you. Excellence in real estate isn't about the size of the deal. It is about the consistency of the effort. There are going to be a lot of deals that are going to be given to you, deals that are worth 140 million, 200 million, and there are also deals that are worth 15 million, there are deals that are worth 10 million, as the case may be. So it is not the key or the one who have the excellent spirits. It's not the one that's chasing the big D. It's good to chase the big D, but your consistency overall in engaging your clients is what is the key. I had an experience, starting up, and that stuck with me to today. And I shared that experience with somebody, and he ran with it, and is doing so much well. I said that every single person that have known you to be doing a business, in my own case, real estate business, they are your potential subscriber, whether today or tomorrow. Have you ever called me for, oh, can you help me rent apartment for 100,000 naira and I'm selling property of 140 million naira? Such one should not to be discarded with. Such one should not be sent away, even though it's below the radar of what your expectations are. Such one are kept. And how do you keep them? Even though you cannot meet up or whatever it is asking for, you don't have that within your portfolio or your brief. Keep such one in a place where he or she can consistently see that this is what you do. Later, or now or in the future, that person is not going to be static, it's growing. Maybe the time he was asking for 100,000 apartments, he was a student. A time is going to come, he will leave school. A time is going to come, he will be working. A time is going to come, he will have a business. What you have, so a time will come. My point is, a time is going to come that it will also come to a state where it can afford, or it can, be part of the brief or the product you have at that point in time. And I say I've shared the experience many times. A whole lot of people that are investing in real estate, the kind of investors base that we have or data that we have, majority of them came from those guys that we hosted in the hostel that year. Those young boys that took the hostel space, took the whatever space, those guys that we rent an apartment for here and there. If you go and check our page, Sun Planet, our page has been there since 2018. Go and check the kind of posts that we're doing then. Come and rent one room self-contained. Come and rent this. Come and rent that. These are the things that we're doing then. So those guys that we kept in our client base, they were the one that began to understand the concept of our investment when we started in 2018. But they were the one that are seeing what we are doing, coupled with more adverts to reach out to more people. So I can tell you, someone that have known you before, is easier for him to interact with you when they are interested in what you're selling. Till today, we still get referral from those that we attended to that year because of our approach, our manner of approach, and how we've kept the relationship. And they've never heard the news or a story that those people, this is what they are doing now. They are not trustworthy anymore. Kept we kept, our integrity, we kept our honesty, we kept our excellence, we kept every single thing that we started with. In fact, we are improving on them day by day. So that is your strength. That is what works for us, and I'm certain that's going to work for you. In as much as you are chasing the new guys, new investors, new clients, talking to people, what is very much important is the ones that have met you. How have you treated them? Thank you on that. So what I'm seeing in you guys, bring you guys in the mind, in the objective or the desire eventually is to see you as an investor, not only a company representatives. You are here to build your investment portfolio, really. You're not here to sell for some planets or to represent some planets. Only, of course, that's the goal. But we want to guide you that in the process of time, you are working with us through the instruction given, through the knowledge, through the training that you're able to acquire and putting it into practice, and you're able to get something worthwhile coming in through compensation here and there. We want a situation whereby that compensation does not become money that just go into spending for one thing or the other. We want to encourage, guide, and ensure that that money can be replowed or can be put into an investment in real estate that becomes an investment churn out return for you as it is scheduled. It is easy to get one-time income and use it. It could even be for a genuine reason, but something is much more genuine than any other thing. Investment is always better than when you make an income and you're using it on something that brings something back to you. The only reason why I spend money is because what I'm spending that money on is going to bring something back to me, but not necessarily money back. But I have the mind that what I'm spending money for instance, if I buy a car, a car is seen to be liability, but my own car is assets, according to Robert Kiyosaki. He says that an asset is not because it's tangible. An asset is not an asset because it's a building. We can't say because a building is an asset. No. Is it putting money in your pocket or is it giving an equivalent value? That's what makes it an asset. So if I buy a car, it's so that when I meet you that I want to buy property from me, and you see my look and see my standard and see what I pitch to you, people like to size you up, especially at the position that you are selling one or two things to them. That can be one of the factors that will make them make the decision of saying, oh, I think these guys are okay, are well to do. Let's do business with them. It's like when you come to our office now, our office is actually well put together. We give it to a very standard and professional interior decor company, and they did a wonder for us here. So, and we did all this so that to project an image to whoever that will have encounter with us that we are in business and we are professional at that. So that is my last word. You are going to be an investor, not only to making money for personal reasons only. Thank you and God bless you. I want to believe this is a productive time with you. So we have our website here. You can check us up. We just built this website anyway. Very beautiful. Sunplanet.app. Yes. Sunplanet.app. We have social media. Our social media is sunplanet.co, and our email is support@sunplanet.app. Please, we'll give time. We still have about 12 minutes here about. So we'll give time for questions so that we can answer them. And at the same time, why on this meeting, I want us to do something. How many are we on this meeting, on this call? Let me see. So apart from the staff in this 14 number of the attendees, we want you to go to your Instagram page, look for Sun Planet Co, and follow us. We want you to follow us as part of the exercise for today. We want you to go there and follow us. At least you can see the kind of content that we have been making on the public space. All right. I think on this note, I'm giving room to every one of you to ask a question. And if you have followed us, please do a thumbs up on the call. I want to be sure that they're all taking that instruction. Thank you so much. Okay. I am not seeing anybody asking questions. So on that note, can we have the introduction of everyone on this call? You can just unmute one after the other and tell us your name. And if you have a question, you can use the opportunity to ask. Thank you so much.
I'm Benedict Ode. It's nice to have you. It's nice to be here with you.
Awesome. Any question?
No, I'm good.
Thank you.
My name is Dr. Samuel Okide, speaking from Abuja.
Okay, doctor. It's nice to have you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jessica Nicola. I'm listening from Lagos. I'm currently I don't have anything.
Awesome. Nice to see you, Jessica.
My name is Ethan Mouse. I appreciation for the onboarding process. I really, got a lot of things insight, from some planet.
Thank you so much.
everyone. My name is Oluwatobiloba. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Bosse.
Really
Yes.
good talk. Good talk. Keeping it together. Um, Thank you so much for the presentation. It was really enlightening. I'm speaking from Lagos, actually, and I don't have any question. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I am Akinwumi Olapulu Gani, and actually from Lagos as well. All I have to say is that I want to take a moment to appreciate some planets, and particularly Mr. Sonny for putting this together. That session was a very insightful and a revealing session.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much. I observed that majority of us are in Lagos. The chances are that because we are going to take after the sessions, the last session, which is going to be 11th of August, you're going to be invited physically to do a tour with us, tour of some of the projects that we're going to be discussing during the sessions that we'll be having, so that you can have a physical first-hand witness of them. And also, we also invite you to come to the office for a short conversation, and from there, we'll now take it up properly. But for those that will not be able to come physically, if you can come physically, it will be sweeter, to be better. But if you cannot, we will try as much as possible to make a record of them so that we can share them on our YouTube for you to go back to at any point in time. Thank you so much. This is an exciting session, and I think it's insightful too. And I'm happy that this went this direction. We give God the glory.